I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because, as you've said before, this guy's a con artist, and he's gotten away with it for years.
He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system.
Breaking news. Robert De Niro just declared war on Donald Trump's ego. The actor dropped a bombshell of insults that's got everyone talking. But here's the real shocker. Some of Trump's supporters are claiming De Niro's just jealous of Trump's, wait for it, acting skills. Yep, you heard that right. We're diving into this bizarre claim and all the other wild reactions to De Niro's epic roast. From Hollywood to the White House, no one's safe from this verbal smackdown. Ready to see how low Trump's crew will go to defend their orange messiah? This has always blown my mind a little bit. 91% that watch this show regularly haven't subscribed. Could I ask you for a small favor before we start? If you like this show, what we do here, and want to support us, the free simple way you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. Alright folks, it's time to witness the verbal smackdown of the century. Our boy Bobby De Niro just went full raging bull on Trump's orange behind, and let me tell you, it was a sight to behold. Picture this, De Niro, looking sharp as a tack, standing at a fancy event with murder in his eyes. The crowd's on edge, wondering if he's gonna behave or unleash holy hell. Suddenly, De Niro grabs the mic like he's about to drop the hottest diss track of 2023, and boy, did he deliver. He starts laying into Trump like he's Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, but with words instead of a baseball bat.
We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS. Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because, as you've said before, this guy's a con artist, and he's gotten away with it for years.
He's so, as we all know, so narcissistic and self-centered.
First up, he calls Trump a punk, then a dog, then a pig. But wait, there's more. He drops the ultimate insult. Trump's a bozo who doesn't do his homework. Ouch! That's gotta hurt more than a bad spray tan job. But our man Bobby wasn't done yet. Oh no, he was just getting warmed up. He goes on to call Trump a national disaster and an embarrassment to the country. The crowd's going wild, half of them cheering, half of them clutching their pearls in shock. It's like watching a boxing match, but instead of punches, it's sick burns being thrown left and right. Now, you might be thinking, surely De Niro's gonna tone it down after that, right? Wrong. He gets even more fired up, dropping an F-bomb that would make a sailor blush. Down with this mother, he yells, trailing off before he can finish the word. But we all know what he meant, and let's just say it wasn't mother's apple pie.
I think of how absurd it is, and this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case, and it's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong. I don't think they really understand, and historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler.
So how did our grumpy Trumpy respond to this epic roast? With his tiny Twitter fingers, of course. Trump, in all his wisdom, decided to call De Niro a washed-up actor and a loser. Real original, Donnie. He even threw in a zinger about De Niro not being able to remember his lines. Talk about projection. We all know who's really having trouble stringing coherent sentences together, and it ain't Bobby. But the cherry on top of this Twitter tantrum Sunday? Trump's eloquent response. Sad. That's it. That's the comeback. Looks like someone brought a spoon to a gunfight and it wasn't De Niro. Meanwhile, the audience at the event was eating it up like it was the last slice of New York pizza. Cheers erupted after each of De Niro's colorful insults, proving that sometimes we all just need a good laugh at the expense of a certain orange-tinted former president. Hold on to your MAGA hats, folks, because the celebrity roast of Donald Trump just turned into a full-blown comedy bonfire. Seems like De Niro's savage takedown was just the appetizer in this feast of insults. Hollywood's finest are lining up to take their shots at the Donald, and boy, are they bringing the heat. Jimmy Kimmel, never one to pull his punches, decided to give Trump some dietary advice. He suggested that the former president should add some veggies to his diet. I guess that's one way to make America green again, right? But let's be real, the only green thing Trump's interested in is the color of money. Even Jimmy Fallon, usually as mild as a glass of warm milk, got in on the action. He took aim at Trump's infamous hairdo, comparing it to cotton candy made of pee. Now that's an image that'll haunt your dreams. Maybe that's why Trump's always so grumpy. He's got a nest of urine-flavored sugar on his head. But the hits just kept on coming. George Clooney, looking as dapper as ever, called Trump a xenophobic fascist. Now, that's a pretty big word, George. You sure Trump knows what it means? He'd probably think it's some kind of fancy European car. As the jokes flew faster than toupees in a hurricane, Trump's loyal followers were left scrambling to defend their orange messiah. Some of them even claimed that De Niro was just jealous because Trump is a better actor than he is.
He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system. I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him, there's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see, ever.
Yeah, and I'm a better basketball player than LeBron James. Dream on, MAGA crowd. But wait, it gets better. Some Trump supporters threatened to boycott De Niro's movies. Because, you know, Raging Bull and Goodfellas were such huge hits with the MAGA crowd to begin with. I'm sure De Niro's crying all the way to the bank over that one. The whole thing's turned into a real-life version of The Godfather, but with less brains and more spray tan. It's like someone opened the floodgates of celebrity snark, and now we're all swimming in a sea of Trump jokes. Half the country's cheering, the other half's fuming, and the late-night hosts, they're sharpening their joke pencils faster than Trump can tweet "Kofef." You'd think with all this roasting, Trump would be well done by now, but nope, he's still out there, tweeting away with those tiny fingers of his. It's like watching a toddler try to fight back against a bunch of stand-up comedians. Spoiler alert, the toddler's losing. Well, folks, it looks like the De Niro versus Trump showdown is just another day in the never-ending Grumpy Trumpy saga. Who would have thought a tough guy from the movies could cause so much real-life drama? At least we got some top-notch entertainment out of it, right? But here's the thing, this whole celebrity roast isn't just about laughs. It's showing how big shots like De Niro are shaking up politics these days. They're not just acting anymore. They're making waves and getting people fired up. It's like we're living in a real-life reality show with celebs and politicians duking it out on Twitter instead of a boxing ring.